Hey, IDS 302. Starting out good a time as any. I'm just trying to get warmed up here, and I said, just turn the dang thing on. How you doing? It's what is it? Monday. Hopefully you don't get the landscaping noise every day. First world problems. Okay, Monday, April 12th. It's about 1:51 p.m. Welcome to Module 6 already. Only two modules left. Um, I'm freaking out. Are you? No, you shouldn't be. You're over the hump. You guys got this. Okay. So the course evaluation, I'll start hammering you about that. I'd like if you do it. It opens today, I believe, and it ends on the 22nd. Um, Geez, no sunburn on me. Riding the Jeep with the top down a lot. So 10 days it's open, 12th to the 22nd. If you could fill it out, at least do the survey part. You don't have to fill in open-ended answers. It's not quantitative, it's mixed methods. I don't see it until probably 2 weeks after the semester ends, at least. Then they show it to me. There's no names, obviously. It's anonymous. You've done these before. They do help to improve the class, okay? Also gives you a chance to get even with me anonymously. Troll the heck out of me. No, don't, please don't. I beg of you. Okay. Uh, so just keep that in mind. All right. Step 3, I've been going through them. I graded all the ones that came in yesterday and before that. Great job. Overwhelmingly, really good work. It's tricky. I only gave perfect scores to those who could get that little indent in the content. That's a tricky thing. Frankly, I don't even know if I could do it. But they got perfect scores. If you didn't get that indent, you probably got an 86. And then sometimes a couple of things messed up and you got like 10% off or 20%, depending. If you have any questions, let me know. Um, Hopefully you got a chance to see all those announcements I sent out on Saturday as you're preparing for this to clarify that I don't want journals. I want you to use journals, but I want you to get articles from the journals. Okay, because what you're supposed to be doing here in step 3, looking at the research that's out there. Step 1 was to identify a problem that should be, analyzed through interdisciplinary integration and such. Step 2 is to justify it as complex, justify it as requiring integration for an appropriate analysis. Step 3 then is to look at um, research that came before you, okay? Remember, now I made this up how we do this. I didn't make up the steps, but I did kind of develop this process for my classes to go through those 5 steps, right? Because those 5 steps are there and you got to do it somehow. And so I just developed this process to do that. And so my process for step 3, which is locate multiple sources of relevant disciplinary knowledge, information, and perspectives that will address the issue problem. Now that's specifically, so you're locating multiple sources of relevant disciplinary knowledge in 3 different disciplines, hopefully 4 for each one. And it's going to be research that came before you, peer reviewed. I just want to be strict on this course. Yes, there's wiggle room here and there. This is not how it's always done, but it's not how it's never done, okay? It's done this way, and I want you to, it's my choice to teach you this way, that peer reviews research that came before you informs you on your study. It helps give you a preparation as you collect data with your soon-to-be posted survey, right? And then what to do with that data and how does it look compared to research that came before you. So you're developing some competency, because remember, especially like with Newell and Benson, we talked about how interdisciplinarians, they're too shallow in terms of what they know about each discipline. Well, there's argument to that, but this is where you're taking a third discipline here. So you are getting into a discipline that you haven't been working on. It piqued your curiosity or what have you, but this is how you do it. Go through and look for these research articles. So step 3 is good for that, right? I like it. I would say that Also, don't resubmit it. Don't resubmit it. Do not resubmit it. Okay. I'm, especially like if I'm 86, I'm gonna get a 90. No, this you got to start owning it now. Okay, I really went through it step one, step two, in terms of giving people a chance to get up to speed to where I'm at, to my expectations, so that you're familiar with them. Now you are, so the rest of the way you're good. Own it. Own what you submit. I don't, not gonna do resubmissions. Of course, I reserve the right to offer a student a resubmission who I think, however reason made a major error and they need to have another chance. I don't want to see people fail the class, okay, for personal issues or what have you. So again, case by case, but it's not like I'm picking on other people or picking on you and not other people. Okay. This is a loaded thing. I've always regretted saying this, and yet I still say it. I'm not as strict with due dates now as I was early in the class. I wanted to set you up on a chronological system of getting the work done. Okay. I'm not saying I won't ding you, but I'm saying that if you run into a problem or your work schedule, what have you, prevents you from a timely submission of a assignment, you may email me before that assignment is due, not after, before it is due, and you may request an extension, but you need to tell me. Do you need 1 day extra? Do you need 2 days extra? You don't just ask for an open-ended extension, okay? Because I have to know that you know, okay? So, but I want to be flexible, but I'm not going over the top here. And then, trust me, people are going to start turning everything on April 26th or whatever, right? I mean, that's ridiculous. No, course ends on April 23rd. Easter egg number one is the course ends at 11:59 p.m. on 4/23. Okay, remember that. That's 11 days from now. Oh my God. This is going to be insane. No, we're doing fine. It's streamlined now. You don't have as much to do, but what you have to do is intense. So, learning materials for Module 6 is Tanner Chapter 12, The Value of Interdisciplinary Studies. It's only 5 pages. And then Tanner Chapters 13, 14, and 15. I'd really like you to take a look at those, especially if it's appropriate to you. I mean, if it's not, I'm not testing you on or anything, but it's important information. What is that? I said 13 to 15. Job hunting and interdisciplinary portfolios, interdisciplinary resumes, and graduate school. This should undoubtedly resonate with everybody in some way. So, if you're out there job hunting, promotion hunting, and you want to get more adept at selling yourself as an interdisciplinarian, there's where you look. You also can look on the interdisciplinary resumes, chapter 14. Keep that information handy, okay? As you update your resume to include this wild and crazy great discipline that you're going to graduate with, right? And then finally, chapter 15, graduate and graduate school. I hope some of you, a lot of you, any of you, pursue graduate school. I see a lot of students that are just doing excellent work that you have to go to graduate school. We need you. If it's not right for you, it's not right for you. If it's not right for you at this time, it's not right for you at this time. Want to take a gap year? Go ahead. Got my undergrad when I was in 2013, so I was 55, turning 55, and I took a gap year because I wanted to explore the world as a young man. So I could go to Europe. No, actually, that was after my. I did take a gap year because I was going to go to Howard University in Washington, D.C., changed my mind. I was going to go to UW Milwaukee, changed my mind, came back here. And so it ended up being a gap year. And then I got my master's in 2016. Then I went to Europe in 2018. Time flies and you're having fun. So check those chapters out, all right? Step 4, in the learning materials, it says sample help instead of sample here. I'm not changing it. I don't want to mess with it. So I'm just going to leave that there. There's a sample there, and there's a sample, of course, in the submission page for step 4, okay? Let's keep moving on, though, because I want to talk to you about your survey link. It is due on the 16th. Get it in sooner, please. Start working on that. As I said, I mean, it's not going to give you a lot of time to get everything done. Now, I've kind of modified. I used to have students do this survey sooner. This is about the latest I had them do it in the class. I want to see how it worked. Hopefully, it will work. I just don't think it needs a lot of time, especially in a class with 60 students. You know, you're going to probably get 50 responses right from students. If not, you'll probably get at least 40. Then you got family, friends, relatives, what have you. I'm hoping everybody has at least 50 responses to work with in a very short time, like by next Monday, because you're going to need it, right? You got to really get through that stuff, hopefully by the weekend. So get those done ASAP. What did I do the 16th for? Today's the 12th, Monday, 13th, Tuesday, 14th, Wednesday, 5th, Friday? Do it sooner. Try, okay? Because you need responses. Then when you post yours, you can wait because they're all due Friday at the latest. Some people are going to wait. Saturday, I'll remind you this, get in there on Saturday and just go through them all and do them. Or you can do them as they get posted. I don't care. Do them. Help your fellow students out. Do their surveys, okay? And then you can find out how great you did on yours and how somebody else did, right? Do those surveys because immediately you're going to have to start working on step 5 and step 5 and your analysis, okay, of your data. So we're going to get into that. So we're moving up pretty quick. There's nothing really to do except the course evaluation, which you'll be getting emails on, of course. The videos, of course. You've got 2 videos. You got your survey post. Then you got step 4, which is 100 points. Then you've got module 7 videos. There's a discussion on reflection. I'd like you to do that. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you didn't, if you're already getting an A and you just want to say, I'll do the, but I always think it might help you do the evaluation, or if you don't do evaluation, it helps me. Then you got your final paper worth 150. So you're going to do some cramming towards the end. Remember, the course ends April 23rd. I want to see how everybody's doing. Like next week at this time, it's going to be April 19th. I'm going to ask you next Monday, I'll remind you to let me know if you're freaking out and you don't have the responses, you don't have the time, you don't have this or that. And let's see what we can do about that, okay? And I'm not saying what we're going to do, but anywho, okay, the final Easter egg number 2. The final grade is based on what? From the syllabus quiz, it's based on points, not percentage. So Easter egg number 2, your final grade is based on points, not percentage. So I'm going to be switching over pretty soon to points, probably next week, end of the week. You won't see percentage anymore. You'll see your total points. Why? Because you want to get to 900 for an A, 800 for a B, 700 to pass. Okay, it's the best way to start knowing as we get late. Sure, earlier in the class, percentages were good, give you some idea where you're at based on percentage of the points. But now it's kind of the point race to the finish line. So let's do that. So outside of that, if you haven't done your step 3 yet, I know I gave permission for a lot of extensions. That's due tomorrow. I look forward to that. They're easier for me to score. And I want you to make sure you really know what you're posting it at, because I want you to rely on this. You're going to rely on that in step 4. Now, step 4 is a little more writing than step 3 was in terms of how we, you have a list. This is more of an organized paper. So step 4, you're going to critically analyze, critical analysis of common disciplinary insights, conflicts, and patterns of connection. Okay, this is where we start getting the meat on the bones for the integration, right? Or the vegetables in the soup for you vegetarians. The restatement of the purpose, look at the sections, okay? It's analysis of disciplinary literature. Restatement of purpose. You can just restate your purpose or you can make it better, okay? Then you've got this paper has political science perspective, psychology perspective, and finance perspective in terms of this topic of student debt here, okay? They're given 3 individual disciplines and their perspectives. Then they're looking at patterns of connection and common ground. You're taking political science and psychology. So let's say there's 3. You got 1 and 2, 1 and 3, and 2 and 3. That's how you get every combination. All right, and look at this to get an idea of how they're doing. Oops, I found a citation not done correctly. Dang you! All right, somebody give me a better one for a sample. Then you got areas of conflict. Where do these things butt heads? They got political science and psychology, political science and finance, finance and psychology. Take a look at how this is written. They're only about a paragraph for each one, but it touches on it. It recognizes it, acknowledges it, affirms the connections as well as the conflicts, right? Then there's a section called New Understanding and Potential Resolutions. Of course, you don't have your data yet or anything, but you can contemplate a short little section here on what do you understand now from looking at the integrative possibilities here. Remember, if you were doing multidisciplinary, you just leave this go. You don't care how they conflict or match up or anything. You just look at each discipline. But we're trying to have an understanding about how these interact. And this is where I'm challenging you to think. Think outside the box, okay? Think about how they connect, all right? Again, for me, I had African American studies, and human rights. There's a lot of natural connections to those concentrations. Whereas you might have, again, we looked at political science and psychology. The connections are different, okay? They do connect in a way, but they're different, right? Or what if you had religious studies and business? There's not a lot there probably, but there are some things. So you want to take a look at these, and then you're going to do this primary data collection analysis. You're going to do the 5 steps, and this student had listed the 5 steps very nicely, created a real nice little list here, and then has the references. Okay, I don't mind if you use the same type of list of the steps, just describe them in your own words, please. That's all I want you to do, okay? So let me know if you have any questions. Again, I want to keep this under 20 minutes. Aren't you happy? Whoop, I didn't think of Easter egg number 3. What is my problem? Okay, so that is it. Step 4. It's due next Sunday. Remember, though, we don't get a full week after that. I'm looking at this calendar. This is what messed me up. So step 4 is due on the 19th. The final paper is due on the 23rd. You only get 4 days to do that. And if you're celebrating Earth Day or administrative something day, all right, I have to think about this again. We're going to assess where you're at by next week. Please remember that it's coming close. You need to do step 4. You need to get that survey out. We need to do each other's surveys. And you got to look at that data like on Sunday or Monday. Close your survey, look at that data on Monday, get it together, look at the sample final paper, look at how the data is imaged and described, described, and then get ready to write that step 5 and put it all together in a final paper, okay? But stay connected with me if you're having trouble. I don't want this thing to shut down on you, all right? So Easter egg number 3 is 11 more days of class. And then you're watching this, it might be 9 days, 8 days, 10 days. Actually, tell me how many days are left in this class when you watch it. That would be Easter egg number 3. How many days are left? You tell me from when you're watching this, okay? That's it. Forks up. Peace.